Uncle Rich here for Who's Telling the Truth. Guys, today is November 8th. We were supposed to do the show on November 6th, but we're getting a new studio with new cameras and a new technical board, and anyway, we've been having a lot of fun. But today's date is November 8th. This is show number 194. And the name of the show is Kratomize. And you're going to say, Rich, Kratomize, what are you talking about? Guys, I'm going to make it simple. From now on, whenever you see anybody, I want you to look at them and I want you to say, did you Kratomize today? Rich, have you gone off the deep end? Did I Kratomize today? And guys, I want this to become a household word. And I tell you, since I became aware of Kratom, and that was on August 26th on CNN, we did our whole last show on Kratom. Since I did that show, I've started taking Kratom, and guys, you know, a personal reference is no place to really take any advice from. And I mean, you know, I've been taking Kratom, and I really didn't expect any results. I really didn't. I mean, I've had a series of back operations, you know, just so everybody knows. I've had 3 back operations. I've had my hip replaced. I'm a cancer survivor, prostate cancer, and I've had Lyme's disease twice. So I was going to take the Kratom, but I was going to take it because they said it would give you, some people, it gives euphoric sensation to. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try it just because I see how beneficial it is to everybody. So guys, I've been taking it. And you're not going to believe this. You know, I've been going to the doctor. I've had a problem with my neck and my shoulder. I went to see a specialist, Dr. Shaw, and he said, Rich, you know, it looks like you're going to need an operation, but when it comes to the neck, we try to refrain from operations. He goes, but if you start losing feeling in your fingers and your toes, he goes, then we don't have a choice. So guys, like I said, I've been taking Kratom, and look at my mobility. Now, of course, this isn't proof, and this isn't scientific, but I can only tell you. And guys, my son, I was driving, I always had such a hard time looking to the left. I couldn't turn left. My son is my witness. The other day in the parking lot, I had to do like a 180, and he goes, wow, Dad, you really can move again. Because, guys, I tell you. So now, when you go to take, you know, and a lot of people say, well, you know, what kind of, you know, Kratom, how are you taking it? You know, are you taking a serving of it? Are you taking a helping? Are you taking a dose? Guys, by using the word Kratomize, I think we've answered all the questions. And what I do is I usually take about a teaspoon, and I have a one-pot Mr. Coffee brewer, and I put the, you know, the filter in, I put the Kratom in, and I started with 6 ounces of water, but now I'm down to 4 ounces of water, and I let the water go into the bucket, and I stir it up, and it mixes up nice, and then I put a little honey, and a little, they tell you to put a little lemon juice in it. It does something with the antioxidants or something, I don't know. But guys, I'm telling you, I mean, for me, it's worked. Now, Judy, our director, she's tried it. And she said, Rich, I've gotten no relief. She's got different symptoms. And on tonight's show, we're going to show you that Kratom works differently for different people. And we're going to show you a lot of personal reviews. We're going to show you a lot of clips that are just going to blow you away. But guys, you know, when I looked at last week when we did the show, and we called it, you know, just Kratom, you know, KR is the symbol for kryptonite. And kryptonite has the atomic weight of 36. And it's an element from the periodic table. So guys, when I looked at this and I said, you know what? We really want Kratom to be the kryptonites for the atoms in your body. We want Kratom to get rid of the bad elements, the evil elements in your body. And you're going to say, Rich, what are you talking about? Atoms. My body's made out of atoms. Guys, one of my favorite theoretical physicists, Lawrence Krauss, is going to explain how our body is made out of atoms. So Judy, clip number 2, please.
But the amazing thing is that every atom in your body came from a star that exploded. And the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about physics. You are all stardust.
See that, guys? We're all stardust. It's that simple. A star had to die so that we could be born. And you say, wait, Rich, what? Come on, tell me a little bit more. So Judy, let's tell them more with clip number 3, please.
But the amazing thing is that every atom in your body came from a star that exploded. And the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about physics. You are all stardust. You couldn't be here if stars hadn't exploded, because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, all the things that matter for evolution weren't created at the beginning of time. They're created in the nuclear furnaces of stars, and the only way they can get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode. So forget Jesus. The stars died so that you could be here today. Okay? And anyway.
Now you can see why I love the guy. So forget about Jesus. The star had to die so you could be born. And guys, that's true. The only place it's hot enough for these elements to be created is in the belly of an exploding star. But you know, what we always like to do is we want to play the full clip now so that this way you can get a flavor for, you get a picture of the whole, of what he's trying to explain, and it just puts the wraps on everything. So Judy, clip number 3, please, or clip number 4. My buddy Lawrence Krauss. This is him, guys.
Beautiful picture from the Hubble Space Telescope of a distant galaxy, far, far away and long, long ago. And there's a whole galaxy. It's about 1 billion light years away. We're looking at it as it looked 1 billion years ago. So many of those stars no longer exist. And here's an object that's just as bright as the whole center of the galaxy. You'd think it's a star that's near in our galaxy that just got caught in the picture frame. It's not. It's a star on the edge of that galaxy that has exploded. And exploding stars shine with the brightness of 10 billion stars. They're the brightest fireworks in the universe, supernovae. And they're remarkable, and I keep having asides. Maybe I'll get to my point eventually. But this is something that I wrote a whole book about, and someone asked me yesterday why I wrote that book. Because it is the most poetic thing I know about the universe. Richard wrote a great book called, what's it called? Our Ancestors? What's it called? Ancestor's Tale, yes. I wanted to make sure I got that right. And I wrote a book that was a different Ancestor's Tale. It was called Adam. But the amazing thing is that every atom in your body came from a star that exploded. And the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about physics. You are all stardust. You couldn't be here if stars hadn't exploded, because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, all the things that matter for evolution weren't created at the beginning of time. They're created in the nuclear furnaces of stars, and the only way they can get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode. So forget Jesus. The stars died so that you could be here today. Okay? And anyway.
Hey guys, if you ever want an education, go on to YouTube. You saw the beginning of the clip, the best of Lawrence Krauss. The guy's a genius. How he hasn't won a Nobel Prize by now is beyond me. But I tell you, there are times I listen to him, and he just, sometimes I don't even understand what he's talking about. Like when he talks about the Hadron Collider and particle physics and, you know, quantum mechanics. And I sit there and, you know, it's more or less the thought process that these guys have. And the fact that he's helping me become a critical thinker. Right, Uncle Joey? Always like to talk. Oh, guys, you're not going to believe this. Uncle Joey, on the last show, he watched our show on YouTube and he said, Rich, after 193 shows, you finally got something right. And guys, he actually complimenting me on Kratom. So, once again, not to, I want to make a little fun of this, but just think about it as Kratom being the kryptonite for the atoms that takes away all the evil elements in your body. And guys, once you start watching the clips, especially tonight, you're going to say, wow, is this a miracle? Is this a wonder drug? Why haven't I heard of this? But, like Lawrence Krauss is a scientist, we're going to turn to another scientist. And Bill Nye, I tell you, so much fun. But they were asking him about marijuana, marijuana, but I call it marijuana. How marijuana is a Schedule I drug, and why drugs become Schedule I, and the fact that the FDA wants to make Kratom a Schedule I drug. So guys, I'm telling you, if Kratom works half as good for other people as it is for me, hey, you guys got to try this. And we're going to make it possible. By the end of the show, we're going to show you where you can go to get Kratom, how you can buy. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun. But like I said, first we're going to go to another scientist, and Bill Nye is going to explain what a Schedule I drug is and how we don't want to have them in our society. So Judy, clip number 5, please.
For me, though, I got to tell you guys, I love you all. I don't like the smell. I just don't like it.
Doesn't like the smell.
And one time in college, I tried it, and I'm not good at smoking. I didn't put in the hours to get good at smoking. But if you guys knock yourselves out.
Science guys think you study more of its effects, and if that ain't the truth.
What's happened with marijuana is it's a Schedule I drug, which means it's presumed to be addictive, and it's presumed to have no medical value. Yet people are using it for all these medical applications. So, well, let's study it. Well, you're not allowed to study it because it's a Schedule I drug, and we know that it has no medical. Okay, so that has to be sorted out. But anybody who tells you, legislator or extreme conservative opposed to it for connecting to his or her religion, reasons you can't fully understand. Whoever tells you they know what it does, they don't. It's not, marijuana's effects have not been fully studied. Well, I lived in Washington State for a long time, and Washington State legalized it in 2012. We legalized marijuana. We tax it. We have a lot of tax revenue. It's no longer criminalized. We don't spend money on the police department. We spend money regulating the industry in the same way we regulate other substances. And the guy says, well, it hasn't, the world's still spinning. Now, when I played Ultimate Frisbee very seriously, these guys I played with would get high, and they sucked when they were high. Sorry, I just never liked it. But you guys, knock yourselves out. Carry on.
For some reason, I just don't see him playing Ultimate Frisbee. I just don't. Hey, but I want to tell you, I saw him on the Ark Encounter, and he ripped, Ken Ham a new one. And I tell you, he made him look foolish. But, when it comes to science, guys, everybody knows how I feel about science and global warming. But the next clip we're going to show you is from HBO, and it's from a series called Vice. And guys, I got to warn you in the beginning. We're going to show you a heroin addict, and when you see him shooting up, it's going to be a little repulsive. So, I mean, don't, just take this with a grain of salt, But I want you to see, and I want you to see what this kid went through to get off of heroin. And guys, at the end of the 23rd day, take a good look at this kid. He looks like a different human being. I mean, the transformation is remarkable. So, Judy, let's prove my point with clip number 6, please.